Hola, estudiantes. This verb is about the conditional tense. In English, we form the conditional by placing would before the main verb. And in Spanish, the conditional is just one word, and it still translates as would doing that verb. Like, I would bring a blanket. This is how we form the conditional. It's a very easy tense to form. All of the verbs, whether they end in AR, ER, or IR, have the same endings in the conditional. The endings are ia, ias, ia, iamos, iais, ian. And if those endings look familiar, it's because they are. Those are the same endings as the imperfect tense. But instead of subtracting the AR, ER, and IR, we add these endings on after the infinitive verb. So you form the conditional by writing the infinitive verb. Remember that the infinitive verb is when you don't conjugate the verb. You leave it alone where it's still in its AR, ER, or IR form. So you add on these endings to the infinitive verb. So if I wanted to do the conditional of yo hablar, I write out the entire verb hablar, and then I add the yo ending, hablaría, which means I would talk. If I wanted to say you would run, I write out the entire verb correr, then I add the to ending, ias. Correrías means you would run. Otro ejemplo. She would discuss the situation and she would resolve the problem with our help. Ella, discuss, discutir, and then the ella ending, ella. Discutiría la situación. And she would resolve. To resolve, resolver, ella ending, ella. Resolvería, she would resolve el problema con nuestra ayuda. Just like any verb tense, there are a group of irregulars. They are the same irregulars as the future tense. They have the same irregular stems in the conditional that they did when we learned the future. And we'll still use these same endings. So we'll use those after the irregular stems. So I'm going to go through the 12 verbs, what their stems are, and what they mean. The first group of irregulars are verbs where you minus the E. Minus the E. So your first stems are abr, podr, quer, y saber. Please write down the definitions of these verbs. To be able to want, to know. So if I wanted to say, I would know, it would be yo sabría. Yo sabría. I would know. The next group of irregulars are verbs where you minus the E or the I, and you put a D in its place. Pondre, saldre, tendre, vendre. Please write down the definitions of these verbs. To put, to leave, to exit, to go out, to have, to come. So if I wanted to say I would have, yo tendría. So I still use the same endings. And the last group of irregulars are verbs where you minus the EC or the CE. Dir, ar are the stems of decir and hacer. Write down the definitions. To say or to tell, to do or to make. So if I wanted to say, we would say, diríamos. Here's another example. I would put the title of the blog there. I would not have a Snapchat. Yo pondría, here's an irregular verb, el título del blog ahí. Yo no tendría un Snapchat. It's another irregular verb. All right, here is your check for understanding. You can pick either one of these topics. The first one is, with $1 million, say what I would do and what we would do. Or your second option, with the opportunity to meet Moses from the Bible. What I would do, and what he and I would do. Hasta luego.